Hello everyone and welcome back to our blind let's play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. My name is FlightlessBird, this is your Stories Gaming channel and we're on episode 5, Rise from the Ashes, the final day, trial former. Now Enter Zero asked me in the last video, am I ready for this trial? And the honest answer is no. And the reason is because I'm really worried about Emma. I mean, there has to be a reason why Lana is going along with this bogus trial when she didn't actually kill anyone. There's got to be a reason why Gaunt has complete control over her. And the only reason I can think of is her sister. And I'm kind of worried because I thought originally that Gaunt threatened to hurt Lana's sister. But if he's got evidence of a fingerprint of hers, that makes me wonder what was Emma's involvement in the crimes 2 years ago when she was only 14 years old. I don't like to think that Emma's involved with anything shady. I don't want to believe that. I like Emma a lot and she's an amazing character. But at the same time, there is a part of me that is questioning what her role actually may have been. And that worries me. Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right in, shall we? February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. This is the defendant lobby, alright? But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Who's that? Oh, hey, Edgeworth. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the all 7 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True? Well, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty. Well, you don't seem that confident, do you? I mean, you say 5 minutes, but I remember a time when we only had 3 minutes. I think that was with Von Karma. But regardless, yeah, you gave us 2 extra minutes than what we expected to have before. But she didn't do it. I figured you say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today is the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. Well, that depends on you. Oh, the exclamated dots. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. Oh, the dots. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gaunt has on her, it's now. Here we go. February 25th, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 9. The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. Huh? But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Uh-oh. Chief can't. Oh, this ain't good. Morning, folks! How's everyone been doing? Hey, Edgy, been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. I know that feeling all too well, Judge. Oh, well, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? There's that awkward silence of his. Well, Lana, that is to say, the defendant has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Haven't heard what she intends to say. I feel she should be granted the request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Oh no. What is he making her do this time? What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Oh dear God! She is taking the bullet. Like, she does not want whatever's going to happen to Emma happen. And it almost makes me feel like a jerk to dishonor her in that, Huh? But no, our one ally is the truth. We must never forget that. We must always pursue the truth as a defendant of the law. I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana! Yeah, slam that desk. You can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. Ooh, snap. But Lana. Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven in case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation, even though that's kind of stupid. What's the old saying? A fool has himself as a lawyer? Something like that. I'm just a judge, I don't know. Our request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. The court finds the defendant. Objection? Yeah? Okay, thank you. Oh, it was Edgeworth who said it. Oh, yes! Oh, I knew you liked the truth, Edgeworth. I knew you were an honorable guy after all. One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Ah, come now, Worthy. I understand it's a difficult time for you. Excuse me, Lana. I'm gonna take over the stand here. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, huh? I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gaunt. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. You go, man. You go. All the dots. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Ah, some kind of deal, huh? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. All the dots. Huh. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Sky. Oh, what about? I request the court hears her testimony. Hold it. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to contend. I don't care what you think, Mrs. Sky. Oh, the dots. Or was it Miss? I always get those confused. Miss Sky. Sorry. Anyway, the exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Yeah, I totally agree with Edgeworth here. You go, man. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gunt? Worthy. You'll live till we get this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Sky, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Oh boy. Poor girl. Now then, witness. Please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma. Emma Sky. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Oh, the dots. Oh, the dots. Well, okay then. He sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. Oh boy. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's been bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing that you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? All the dots. That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. It's good to see that we still have a job. 2 years ago. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gaunt. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gunt and Miss Guy used to be quite the pair. I believe they share the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Duck. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought for questioning on that day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic, because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gaunt's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Demon Gaunt and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Did I say Demon instead of Damon? It's the same thing, right? Yeah, screw that guy. Almost forgot about Gaunt. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped at Dark. Just then, the lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of the year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right. But just then, lightning flashed again from outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more, definitely. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but at the time, the words just couldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? No, keep asking. This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added a statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. Can I, take a look at that picture again? Where is it? I don't have it. No, I don't have the picture. I had the piece of cloth. I had the evidence list. I guess the picture is in the evidence list. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right? Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes. That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken.
But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. This scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
That must have been a real shock.
Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped at Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much about this as she can. Alright, so where is the evidence? Is it this one? Because here, zoom in. Why can't I read this? Oh, right! That's what the picture is. Picture was on the back of the evidence. You know, this is just me looking at this picture. But here's a good question for you. Let's say you were this person here, and you were stabbing this person here. What would be the most likely place that you would stab your victim? Because if you're going down with your left hand here, and a person is facing this way, stabbing someone in the chest would be really hard to do. You would stab someone in the back, not the chest. A picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list, an evidence marker. So I either use it here, or I use it here. I'm not sure which one I use it on, because I have a feeling that one of these two statements is contradictory. I kind of want to use it here because, well, I want to use it here. I want to try it here first. Your Honor. Nope, that's not it. All right, well, let's try it again. We're still so early in this trial, I don't want to lose any hit points yet. Let's try it again. Here. There we go. I knew it was one of the two, right? Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. Well, that may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! Well, this is the evidence list of the SM9 incident. That's right. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it. Ah! What's this? Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture that I drew.
Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? Well, these lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago. Only half of the evidence in that case will ever reach you. What? What? Order, I say. will have order. But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture in the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Huh? Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. No, if the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing at the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Really? You don't think we would have noticed that? Oh, the exclamative dots. Well, yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Sounds like a Murloc from World of Warcraft. There's something wrong. Do you even have to ask? I mean, seriously, that to me just seems like... And a game that's so perfectly written, in my opinion, not to notice there's something on the back of a list. Come on, dude. Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. Unless it's drawn in such a way that it doesn't look like anything. It's that thing. Oh, it's a blue badger. Oh, dear God. Okay. Never mind. I just take back everything I just said, because obviously no one would think that's important. But why is that there? Oh, the dots. That's that thing. Oh, that thing was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper?
All the dots.
Evidence list restored and update in the court record. List of the evidence in SL9 incident. Half of this list was found in God's desk. Very well, witness. But then... Can't rotate it. Why can't I rotate it? Let me rotate it in my brain. So it looks like... 3... What could that be? Huh. I don't necessarily see anything. Three dots. That can't be the blue badger. Because look, it's drawn up, it's drawn sideways. Whereas the blue badger is not like that. Don't forget, the picture you're looking on the right is a complete picture of the one left. So you gotta rotate everything one rotation. And what could that be? I don't know what that is. We'll get back to it, I'm sure. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture that you drew 2 years ago?
All the dots. Huh? Oh, yes, Your Honor. I mean, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something else when she was looking at the picture. She was. What was she looking at? Like, what is that rotated?
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see was shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Huh. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Does it? I mean, it just shows two shadows. It just shows two shadows. That's all it shows. Oh, the dots. I mean, it's like the case with the with Edgeworth. You remember when you took a picture and you couldn't see who was who? It's that all over again. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Emma's picture. This is the picture I did 2 years ago. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge under the direction of Damon Gaunt and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness. But, can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see was shadows. So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? You know what I just realized is the only way we know that she actually fainted was Lana telling us that she came and cradled her in her arms. We don't have any proof that she actually fainted, right? Because if Joe Dark stabbed Marshall, why would Joe Dark just leave the girl behind? I mean, I guess you could say that... No, there's no reason he would do that. Why would he leave the evidence behind? I mean, there's something really wrong about this. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. The flash of lightning on only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? I'm sorry, I don't mean to, but the truth is important, as you said earlier. Wait, what? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here, and that's what you said earlier! I love the role reversal. Anyway, this picture. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course. This is the exact scene. I wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I better watch out. Or he might find a way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well, yeah, there's a lot of things bothering me. Oh, the dots. That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Okay, wait. How do I point out the contradiction?
How do I... Stabbed in the back. Oh, that was Neil Autopsy's report. Wait. That was Neil Goodman's report. How do we... Where's the contradiction that we have to point out? I'm not sure. I am not sure. Okay, I don't think any of these are contradictions. So there has to be a contradiction here. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. This here is where the contradiction took place. Question is, where is the contradiction at? And for that, I'm not sure. I mean, we don't have a lot of evidence that we can present, right? Showing this doesn't seem that important. I mean, that is the picture. So showing the picture for the picture doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can think is the idea that was stabbed in the back. I don't know how Neil's autopsy report has anything to do with this. But I'm not sure what it could be. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. Well, for some reason that's right. And like I said, the only thing I can think of is the idea of the stabbing in the back. Because that picture clearly shows he was stabbed in the back, but yet she testified he was stabbed up front. But how does Neil's... Oh, I'm such an idiot. I was looking at this the entire time wrong. This is Neil Marshall's autopsy report, not Goodman's autopsy. Wow, I'm really dumb sometimes. But yeah, at the same time, I figured it out just by looking at the back part. Cool. What? But I still remember it like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? It's the back. How do I show the back? I know what I have to do. I just don't know how to do it. The chest. I think it's this part here. I don't see what's so strange about that. Well, that's because the drawing stinks. Oh, the dots. Oh, the dots. Oh, the dots. Mr. Wright, how could you? Wow. Wow. Getting this wrong makes you really feel like an idiot. Oh man, not just an idiot, but a jerk. The act of making an instant go cry should warrant the death penalty. I guess he means I should shift the blame to others. Yes, as long as the defense learned his lesson. I better take another look. I know what the problem is. I don't know how to say it though. Like, a single stab wound piercing heart and lung. I try to click on the heart and lung. Heart and lung. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. I have an idea. I have an idea. It's the weapon. Do you see a knife point on this weapon? Right? This weapon should have a point on it, and it doesn't. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you can look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
Can't believe that was in front of me the entire time and I wasn't looking at it. But, Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Duck was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Ah! What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. No, because the knife was in his body. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body, yes. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right, but what does it mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at that time. But she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. What, the knife was planted later? Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? Yep, that's exactly what he's thinking. You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No.
Order, I say, I'll have order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gaunt. During this questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. All the dots. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. Huh? There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there have been one? No? 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 Emma's mistaken. Broken knives don't just grow on trees. There's no way there was another one.
Well, Mr. Wright,
I believe that's in a case full of weird coincidences that aren't coincidences. I think this is not a coincidence. And saying coincidence that many times fast is really, really hard to do, by the way. Your Honor, I believe the witness must be mistaken. All the dots. I knew it. You really don't believe me. Huh? That flash of lightning burned an unforgettable image in her mind. One that's been torturing her ever since. There's no way Emma could be mistaken. The witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw. It can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. So wait, there was another knife? Are you kidding me? There was 2 broken knives? In that instance, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Oh, right. The unstable jar. If anything's broken here, it's you. Not so fast, huh? I'm sure this must all be very amusing to you, Mr. Wright. But may I remind you that the fate of Miss Lana Sky hangs in the balance? Oh no, that wasn't right. So sorry, Your Honor. Please give me another chance. I could have swore that was it. I mean, that would make perfect sense. That, you know, murdered with the, no, I don't mean to look at my detective's badge. I mean, murder with the broken vase, right? Because that blood traces on it. What could be the actual murder weapon? The screwdriver? I mean, this is a part of the case, right? There has to be a reason for it. Nope, it's not the screwdriver. It's not the screwdriver. Nope, it's not the screwdriver. All right, well, it was worth a shot. I mean, it had a good possibility. Could have been the Edgeworth's knife? No, because Edgeworth had that knife. I don't know. What could it have been? Could it have just been this all along? Nope. You know, I'm gonna try saying it's just a knife. I know that sounds dumb, but it's the only thing I can think of. And of course, I am wrong. Of course I'm wrong. I don't get it. What is the real murder weapon? Clear handprint can be seen. Was he suffocated with a cloth? Nope, that's not it. All right, good. Because that would have been scary if he was. Because that means that Emma killed him. The other evidence? Nope. Man, I don't have a clue what the real murder weapon is. Like, I'm running out of things that we can choose. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm such an idiot. I am such an idiot. It's the prosecutor's trophy. There's a reason that the spear is gone. Well, it appears that I am broken because I could have swore that was the answer. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter, you are brilliant, and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.